So I just bought an electric Chinese car at auction here in Australia. Never saw it. Only saw some pictures online. Weren't the greatest pictures, to be honest. In fact, it was actually really hard to even find out the details of this car, how big the battery pack was, what the battery chemistry is, all that stuff. And guess what? I can't even drive it here. But I've got a plan. I've got an idea. And I think it's going to work. Let me know what you think. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. Great to see you. Today, well, fun day. I stayed up most of the night to try and bid on these auctions, and I bid on 4 different electric cars. I lost on 3 of them by $100 on 2 of them. So someone was very keen and they bid me up at the last second by $100 on 2 of them. One of them I was way off. The other one, I won that auction. Price in the end, 7,200 Australian dollars, but I have to pay like 15% in auction fee. So it ends up being about 8,500 Australian dollars. That's about 6,000 US dollars, 6,000 US dollars. The thing about this is, right, the way I looked at it was, even if I can't end up getting this car to be registered on Australian roads to be able to drive, still, it's a 2019 model electric car with a pretty big battery pack, right? This thing is 4.5 meters long and it's 1,770 kilos or 3,900 pounds. Now, I don't think that weight's correct. That's probably, I don't know, some sort of made up figure. Maybe if you make all the body carbon fiber or something. I think that's pretty unlikely considering the size of this vehicle. This is a size, same size as the BYD Atto 3 electric car that I've ordered, which I definitely can drive here in Australia, as long as I pay 50,000 Australian dollars when I have to pick it up in a month's time. Anyway, getting back to this car, it's actually manufactured by BAC. And now the company is called Beijing Auto because BAC and their electric car division had a split, and now they have to call themselves Beijing. I don't know. It sounds a bit weird to me. It's like calling yourself California Auto or New York Auto or Melbourne Auto. But whatever, it doesn't really matter. The point is here, right, that the EX5 is the model. So it's called the BAIC EX5. And it's got a pretty big battery pack. I thought it was pretty big for the price. If you think about it like this, right, the battery pack is 62 kilowatt hour. So the fact that the car is costing me about $8,500 I'm getting a 62 kilowatt hour battery pack. I think that's going to be big enough to run all the places I have on the property, right? So all the tenants will have access to renewable energy all the time. That's my plan. The problem is the battery pack actually weighs 450 kilos. I'm going to have to figure out how to get it out of the car, which could be tricky. But before I even do that, I've got to go to Queensland, which is about 2,000 kilometers from here in Melbourne, and somehow get this car back here to Melbourne. Now, I can't technically legally drive it on the road. It's left-hand drive. Cars here in Australia are, well, pretty much all right-hand drive, except for some old classic cars like old Mustangs and old kind of, you can get a special license to drive those on the road. But technically, I don't think I can drive it. I mean, maybe I could go in the middle of the night and just hope I don't get caught, right? Or I was thinking I could also drive my car up there with a car trailer, and tow it on the car trailer all the way back to Melbourne. This would be a huge drive. This would be like over 4,000 kilometers, half of that with a big heavy car on a trailer, towing it. That would be quite a challenge. So I'm trying to work out the best way to get it from Queensland back to Melbourne. If you've got any ideas, hit me up. Let me know what your ideas are. Let me know in the comments, or just jump on the Facebook group and let me know there, or you can even email me as well. So what else do we know about this car? Well, it was manufactured in 2019 and said to have a range of 260 miles or 415 kilometers. Energy density of the battery is 146.6 kilowatt hours per kilo, and the battery pack is guaranteed for 8 years or 150,000 kilometers. Now, the car's only driven about 200 miles. So the battery pack should be pretty close to full. I mean, maybe degradation over time might have come in, but it would be very, very marginal, very, very small. So it should be at least 97% capacity, which is awesome. Now, there is a big negative here, in my view. There's a big problem. Well, not a problem, but a downside. the battery is not lithium iron phosphate. Now, none of the 5 electric cars that were available in this auction had LFP battery packs. All of them were NMC. So what does that mean? Well, it means I'm not going to get as many cycles out of this battery, nowhere near as many as compared to if it had been a lithium iron phosphate battery. So that's sort of a bummer. But that said, I still think it's worth the money, right? However, it is going to be kind of complicated getting the battery pack out and turning it into being a battery that can just be used, right? Just be used for electricity. I had an idea, maybe I don't need to take the battery pack out at all. Maybe I can just leave it in there because it actually does have V to G or V to L, vehicle to load, vehicle to grid, right? So I should be able to not even remove it at all. Maybe just park the car and, just sit it there. I'm not sure that's the best option. It's not really the option I want to go with. I'd prefer to have a clean system there, not have a car just sitting around. So I really need to find out how to do this, how to go about this, how to connect it to solar. I want to get more solar panels put on to make full use of this and to make sure I'm getting the maximum amount of energy generation I can get on the property. I'm actually going to go cut down a tree. There's a tree that's right on my border on the fence actually, which is kind of taking out the fence a little bit, and it's a dead tree and it's right in the way. So that's what I plan on removing, that tree, which if that tree were to fall down, considering it's dead, it would crush everyone in the house or all the people in the units. And, that would be a big problem for me, a big problem for them. So I'll get rid of that tree. It's going to do two things: make the property safer and allow more sunlight to get through in order to have more sun for the solar panels and then more power for the battery pack. Now, the interesting thing is, as you guys know, I have ordered also a BYD Atto 3. Now, because this car that I've ordered, the BAIC EX5, does have V2V and V2L bidirectional charging, technically, I could actually charge my BYD from the battery in this car. So I also thought about that as an option too. Now, what are the actual specs of this car? Well, it's actually not too bad. It's got a 160 kilowatt motor. That's 215 horsepower. And it's got 300 newton meters of torque, which is 221 pound-feet of torque. It'll do about 160 kilometers an hour at max speed. And its efficiency apparently is 16.2 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. Now, charging speed's pretty slow. It's only an 80 kilowatt charge. And charging overnight apparently should take around 10.5 hours. Of course, when I'm connecting this to solar panels, it's going to take longer than that, depending on how many solar panels I have. So if anyone knows how many solar panels would I need, right? How many solar panels would I need to charge this battery, a battery this size, 62 kilowatt hour battery in a day? How many panels would I need? Or even 2 days? 2 days of sun. If we get 2 days of just sun all day, say for 9 hours a day, that's 18 hours of sun. How many solar panels will I need to fully charge this battery pack? I don't actually know, but I'm sure one of you out there is smart enough to work that out and let me know. Let me know what that is, because I'm absolutely fascinated to know how many solar panels I'm going to need to get some real serious juice into this battery. I've got to say, as you can see, I'm pretty excited. I'm excited. It's going to be a project. It's going to be challenging. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. Let me know if any of you guys out there have done something similar. And as always, I'll see you again on the next video and have a great day. Bye-bye.